Hello everyone, and this is Ed from Slayer Pro Gamers, and we're going to a nutshell review of Halo Combat Evolved. And as you can see here, I'm using the Anniversary Edition. I do have the regular edition, the Game of the Year edition of the original game, but I thought I'd just use the the Anniversary Edition anyway. So, this is obviously the first game in the Halo series of very historic game, very popular still today. This is where it started, all the Master Chief adventures, how it became so popular, what happened, how he came to be an important part of the story. So, everything changed when this game came out back at Xbox in 2001. It's really redefined storytelling and gaming. It gave players a better imagination in gaming now, and it felt more intelligent, more better combat systems. Everything about this game is just blast everyone off the charts, and that's why even to this day it's an historic game, and then no one can not like it. I say it's impossible to not like it. If you better give me a good reason why you would not like this game or any other Halo story games. And especially this one, you meet for the first time a lot of key characters that are played an earlier role in the story or a bigger role in the story, like Captain Keyes here, as you see, and Sergeant Johnson coming up as he'll be shown in Halo 2 and Halo 3. Very important character. Cortana, and obviously Master Chief, the main guy, the whole story, the one that saves everyone, defeats the Covenant, defeats the Flood and everyone. So even back then from '01, this had probably the best graphics system you could put in a video game back in 2001. That was the start of next generation and console gaming back then. Before then there was no Xbox and PS2, so it really did change a lot, and it really took all the awards it can easily. It won Game of the Year without no fighting chance. So as you see here, for the first time we see Master Chief, from his point of view, and for the first time we see the historic Halo Ring World, as they call it. Which is the title of all the game series and everything games called Halo, just because it's about these ring worlds that the mysterious Forerunners built back in millennia ago. So there's a lot more backstory to that, and as you go through the game, so it doesn't leave out too much of a loophole here. Not too much, but there's still questions being asked out if you play this game alone, not the other ones. But that's why Halo 2, Halo 3 explain all that stuff. So not only the story that will grip you, is also the mechanics, as you're seeing here. The first-person shooting mechanics here, which is very early stuff. But it was done fantastically, beautifully. Actually, it was simple and genetic, easy. You still need skill to it to win, but it was always so. What's it called? You want more of it. You want to play more. You want to shoot more. You want to learn more. You want more of the story. And that's the thing got to player the most too. You couldn't ask for a better story-based game in a first-person shooter than Halo. And even today, that's still being said. Halo has always been like that, more story-based, deep-driven. And not only that, you also got probably the best background music soundtrack ever. I mean, there are lots of other top right soundtracks, but this is definitely one of the top 10 you could probably think of. And for being that early, it was most mind-boggling. Playing the first time back in those years, then how it was so good. It was so deep and dark. Well, not technically dark, but it was deep, and it felt like a movie. It felt like watching a movie all through the way. Playing it, hearing it, no matter what, it just felt like something good. And as you can see here, more example of the graphics, of how they were so clean, so visual positive, even for back in those years. Very early in gaming, it was just the start of Xbox and PS2 era, and it couldn't be better. Bungie However they made it is, you know, oof, could not have done any better, Bungie. I'm glad to say it. I'm glad to you know, to hear it. So, you know, and especially with the soundtrack, it makes you want to play more. You know, so there's nothing bad about this game. You really can't say that this game is terrible. This game is bad. This game is amateur, because it really isn't. It could, you know, if this game was made today, it probably could be a lot better. But you know, you can't replace Halo Combat Evolved at all. You just can't. You can't replace it at all. You can't redo it all the way. You can't, you know, start the story over again. You can't remake it. Yes, per se, because it did in the Anniversary Edition, but it's not really, you know, an exact remake. It's just updated graphics and a little bit, you know, of a twitching, you know, stuff like that. So, you know, so, and as I played the story, I just deeply wanted more. That's the main key here. Deeply wanted more. I love the designs on the Covenant. You know how they look here, the grunts, you know, the soldiers, the Master Chief, Cortana. You know, the whole background story of her, and the Chief, and that's pretty much. You know, all you don't get here is basically an identity of the Master Chief, which you really never did in the series anyway. So, but you know, as gamers, we always hope that the next game will provide a face, you know, or a name, you know, or something like that, identity. But you know, you don't. But it was really cool in the ending scene where he takes off his helmet, but you don't see his face because it's being blocked by the ship. A little funny there, but it's just the best part about the game. And Bungie's always said, you know, that they don't want to reveal his face because we imagine what you think he would like, you know. But they give him more identity later in the games than this. This is all just about the events that happened on the first Halo ring, and how, you know, Master Chief got involved in the war with the Covenant and also with the Flood. This is also where we first fight the Flood, as you see in this clip here. You know how deadly they are, what they're capable of, and their power. You know, they're very difficult enemy to beat, and also scary too. I love the way how Halo is not a scary game like in other games, probably like in Gears of War, Resident Evil, Silent Hill. I mean, this is more of a futuristic space type game, but then you meet the Flood and it changes everything. You're like, oh my God, what is this? You know, because you'll see in other cutscenes and gameplay, and they're taking over all of the soldiers' bodies, the Marines that you're with, and they're transforming them. So that's a really cool thing I loved about the Halo series, is the Flood, the enemy, and also about the twist here about 343 Guilty Spark. He turns out to be more of an enemy than an ally, which Master Chief thought it would be an ally. Instead, he's not. He's out to destroy everything. I mean, everything in the galaxy. But he told Master Chief he was only out to destroy the Flood, which was the point of the Halo ring, is to destroy the galaxy, all life in the galaxy. And so obviously, you know, Master Chief's getting fooled by that for a second, but last second he doesn't. You know, thanks to Cortana's actions. You know, she is an intelligent AI, very important character in the series. And while the humans wouldn't have won the war, which is what you'll learn later in the series, or by playing Reach. So, and you know, as you see here, another great example of the the mechanics, the camera angles, you know, the sound, the lighting. So early in gaming, but so well done. Perfect A+ right here. Another shot at Master Chief for what he looks like inside of his suit. You know, you couldn't ask for a more original character. I don't think any character could come close to him. You know, and you know, probably my favorite about it is the first-person shooting gameplay. I mean, obviously today you play a lot of first-person shooting games, and nothing comes close, in my opinion, is the gameplay of Halo. All Halo, no matter what, Halo Reach, Halo 1, 2, 3, ODST, Wars, it doesn't matter. It's always Halo for me. You know, Halo has always been my favorite of a kind of gameplay. Basically in first-person shooters, I think, mostly. I'm not sure about RPGs or, you know, just other types of games. And also seeing the historic Pillar of Autumn for the last time in Halo, and you know, you're reading the books or comic books, you know, there's a very historic ship right here that, you know, tells everything. You know, had to do with a lot. It hailed Master Chief, you know's ride, Cortana, you know, where, you know, the historic Noble 6 almost got his ride but didn't make it. So, and then overall, you know, if you think about it, even today, this, you know, today is definitely worthy of Game of the Year. You know, even with the Anniversary Edition not doing as well as expected, it's still the same game, and you know, you can't expect any more. This game, I will give this absolutely a 10 out of 10 rating. Being the first Halo game back in the day, you know, it'll always be a 10 out of 10 for me. Perfection game right here. Game of the Year worthy always. Totally arguable though, but you know, I don't think anyone's gonna find a true argument to it. You know, out of all the Halo games, it's probably the first 3 of Master Chief's games that are the favorite. But you gotta come clean with Halo 1, that one Game of the Year, without having no competition. So there you have it, folks. This was Combat Evolved review, a nutshell review of Combat Evolved. You know, Halo, the rating is 10 out of 10. So thank you for watching and listening, and enjoy.